Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Ashley Brick James from Triluna Wellness and Events. This is my business partner, Elizabeth Moore, and we are joined by our lovely friend, Kate.
Nancy, scoot over just a little bit. There you go.
So if you're new and don't really know too much about Triluna Wellness and Events, we are a wellness and events company that specializes in yoga, health coaching, and cooking classes, which we combined into comprehensive wellness workshops, events, and retreats. We service corporate. We do wellness parties where we will come into your home and do an hour of fitness movement of your choice, and then a two and a half hour cooking class. And then we also have community workshops 2 to 3 times a month. So make sure that you check out our website at trilunawellness.com under events, and you will get to see all the cool events that we have coming up. Today, you want to talk a little bit about what we're going to be covering today?
Yeah, so today we're talking to my best friend, Kate Mason, here, who's the founder of Reduce, Reuse Nashville. Do you want to explain a little bit about what your website is for, what it does?
Sure. So Reduce, Reuse Nashville is basically just an online resource for Nashvillians wanting to make less trash.
Yeah.
And so Kate's here to show us how to be better, basically. And one of the conversations that we were having before this is, take it all in today, meet yourself where you are. Kate's going to give us all the great things, but before we jump into this, in true Triluna fashion, we want to start off with just a couple of deep breaths. Let's let go of this day. Let's let go of anything that we came into this space with that doesn't serve us. So if everybody can just get comfortable wherever you are, whether you're on your couch, if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, wherever you are, just come into a comfortable seated position, and maybe you close your eyes, maybe not. Maybe find a soft gaze. If I could just get everyone to take a really big inhale in through your nose, and just exhale out of your mouth, side out. Again, let's take a big inhale in, fill up the lungs, the chest with air, and exhale, side out. 2 more. Big, beautiful inhale, fill up all the way to the top. Take 1 more sip in, and exhale, side out. Now I want you to take the biggest, fullest inhale that you've taken all day long, filling all the way up, holding at the top. 1 more sip and hold. Exhale, sigh it out. Let's let go of any and everything that does not serve us in this moment. You can start to blink the eyes open. And let's get started.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. That was lovely. So today, we turned this into a Facebook Live event and Instagram, because we wanted to be able to reach as many people as we could, because this is an issue that we think is really important. It's been coming up a lot in the political sphere, and it's coming up a lot more in our everyday lives. So we wanted to create some content around how to do it feasibly, realistically, and sustainably, which is what we're all about, and just so happens that's what Kate's all about, and what the movement's all about. So Kate is going to explain a little bit about how she got started, what this looks like, and then we're going to ask her some questions. We're going to interview her super hard and get as much information as we can out of her in the time allotted. If you know anything about Ashley and I, you know that of the two of us, I tend to be the most extreme. I want to know everything I possibly can about a subject, or I feel like I don't know anything about it. When I first started looking into the zero waste movement, I consistently thought, I'm not doing enough, I'll never be doing enough, there's no way I can keep up, the planet's screwed, what could I possibly do, what impact could I have? And I've gotten to watch Kate come into the space where she's consistently making an impact every single day, and she's educating the community, and she's super passionate about it, and walking the walk. She just posted an Instagram post recently about how she went through 1 tiny bag of trash in like 5 weeks, right? anyway, so she's actually putting this stuff into action, and it's really cool to see her do that. And turns out it's not all doom and gloom, so she's going to tell us how that works. So she's going to explain to us a little bit about what zero waste means, and then we'll get into some tips and tricks.
Okay. So I started Reduce Reuse Nashville about a year ago, or created the website, like I said, as a resource for Nashvillians wanting to make less trash. I started thinking about reducing the amount of trash I made about 2 years ago, and this was the resource that I wish I had living in Nashville, so that I didn't have to spend hours and hours and hours researching. And yeah, so zero waste, I guess I'll define that.
Yeah.
So zero waste is not about producing and consuming absolutely nothing. It's about designing, producing, and consuming without waste as an end product.
Sure.
A simpler way to say that is it's like sending as little as possible or zero to the landfill. That's not actually possible in the world that we live in today, but that's the goal. And pretty much everyone has heard of reduce, reuse, recycle, and a lot of people tend to skip over reduce and reuse and go straight to recycle.
Guilty.
Yes, but
Super guilty.
but zero wasters sort of in general use 5 R's instead of just 3. So it's refuse what you don't need, reduce what you do need, reuse what you have, recycle what you can't refuse, reduce, or reuse, and then rot or compost the other stuff.
Awesome. So can you explain why recycling is not enough?
Yes. So recycling's nice and really good, but it has a lot of problems too. So one, recycling takes a lot of energy to move anything through the recycling process, so that's not great for the environment. 2, not all recyclables are made equal. So aluminum and glass and steel are infinitely recyclable. They can be recycled over and over again without like losing quality. But paper and plastics get downcycled, so they lose some of their integrity every time that they get recycled until eventually they're useless and they wind up in the landfill anyway. So it's basically recycling in many cases, especially with plastics, is just sort of like a step away from the landfill.
And not all plastics can even go in the recycling to begin with, right? Like you can't recycle a plastic bag.
Right. You can't recycle a plastic bag in your curbside bin in Nashville. You can take plastic bags to like Kroger or Publix. Lots of grocery stores have sort of recycled plastic bag recycling programs. But yeah, that's the other issue, is that every municipality has different rules around recycling. So if you're from Chicago and you move to Nashville, Nashville's rules are probably really different from Chicago's, and so individuals get really confused. And we wind up contaminating a lot of our recyclables by throwing stuff in there that can't actually get recycled, that gets mixed in and then kind of messes up with the stream of stuff. And then also by not properly cleaning out our recyclables and making sure that they're clean and dry. So it's basically a lot of different things have to work just right for recycling to be feasible and like a good thing. And so recycling should really is why it's so low on the 5 R's pyramid, is because it should really be a last resort, and instead you should be thinking about how can I avoid even using this recyclable thing.
So if someone lives in Nashville and they are curious about the rules of the recycling here, they can find that on your website.
Yes.
Okay.
Also on Metro's website, but theirs gets a little confusing and isn't I would come
Yours
to
is
mine.
better. Yeah. Okay.
Go to hers.
So,
In layman's terms.
yeah. Is it more expensive to go zero waste than it is to just live with wild abandon and not care?
No, it shouldn't be. So when you're thinking about what you're consuming, you wind up consuming less. So there's that. So when my boyfriend and I started going zero waste, we've saved a ton of money. You wind up buying higher quality, sustainable items are usually higher quality, they're meant to last, like my water bottle. So when you buy a water bottle, this was a gift, but say this was like $15, you only buy one of these, and then you don't need to go to the grocery store and buy a 24-pack or however many plastic water bottles. I can buy this once and don't have to buy those over and over and over again. So there's a lot of things like that, like paper towels we don't buy anymore, trash bags we don't buy anymore. So it's,
In the long run,
right.
it
So
saves money.
there's sometimes a higher like cost of entry, but generally you're paying for a higher quality item that was going to last a lot longer, and you don't have to sort of go out and buy the same things over and over.
And you encourage people to use what they already have. Like, I'll tell this story about Brent and I. But Brent and I were arguing about who knows more about sustainability. And we were talking about ways that we could go more zero waste in our house. And one of those is going to be not using paper towels anymore. And so my solution was to like buy a hook of some kind, like I don't know, something you'd hold a curtain back or something, to hang towels on so they're always available in our kitchen. And Kate was like, yeah, but what can you use that you already have? I was like, oh, like literally anything. So that was kind of an eye-opener.
Like a big jar you have, or old pot, or
Or
bucket,
like
or
hang it on the stove and
Yeah.
just do a better job
put
of
it
washing
in
it.
a drawer. Yeah. anything.
Yeah. So how do I, so I'm gonna buy less, but I still wanna buy some. So how do I shop more sustainably? Are there companies that are better than others? Should I not shop at all? What's the answer?
So we are all going to buy things because we live in the real world. After not buying something, the next most sustainable thing I think is to buy things secondhand. So, whether it's thrifting or you get on eBay or just buying things secondhand is great. Then after that, there are a lot of zero wasters talking about like a 30-day no shopping ban, or just say, okay, this is a thing I think I want. I'm not going to buy it for 30 days.
And then if you still
And
want
then
it,
if you still want it, if you still need it after 30 days, then get it. But that will just make you more conscious of what it is, like what you're bringing into your life. Yeah.
so while we're talking about shopping, one thing that I think about all the time, every time I go to the grocery store or I see other like food bloggers or Instagram bloggers post their like grocery list for the week, all I see is plastic now because of you. Sorry, you were different. But I'll see like the chicken wrapped in plastic and the Brussels sprouts in a plastic bag, especially Trader Joe's is especially bad about this. How do you shop for groceries without getting literally every single thing wrapped in plastic?
So, in a perfect world, we would buy like all of our produce unpackaged and then buy everything else in bulk. But not everyone has the same access to those.
And when you say in
things.
bulk,
Like bulk bins that exist at some grocery stores.
like the kind where you get a scoop and you put it into a cloth bag.
Right. Yeah, you bring your own bag for bulk too. Or like even just bulk, like a big old thing of rice, and then, that's reducing the amount of plastic. Even if it comes in plastic, you're not having to buy 10 little bags of rice. So
And that's cheaper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, generally. In the long run, again, it's cheaper. But yeah, so not everyone has the same access to like bulk options and fresh produce. But I'll also say like driving out of your way to go to like a health food store or like just a store with bulk options, it's actually like worse. It can end up being
Because of gas.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you drive from Nashville to East Nashville to Bellevue to go to Sprouts to use their bulk stuff, you're using a lot of gas, you might as well just go to the local Kroger and get like something in
But what if you get a lot and then you save it? It's like a dry good that will last for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good option. But so when you are grocery shopping anywhere, I'm sure you guys probably talk about this too, but the outer aisles have the freshest,
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
most unpackaged options. So,
I have to give a shout out to Jarrell Webb for teaching me that. He said on the outside is where we need to
Yes,
stay.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
everything on the inside is processed and wrapped and packed in plastic.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So the more that you can shop, no matter where you shop, on the outer aisles of the grocery store, the better. Reducing the amount of meat that you consume. I'm a meat eater, but I try to cut it back. And also just thinking about when you're buying packaged products, okay, like if I can get this in a steel can versus this cardboard box that's going to have a plastic box or plastic wrap inside of it, like what is the recyclability, or what is going on with the packaging that I'm purchasing?
Okay.
Can I say this? Because I know a lot of people can relate to this, and Liz, I actually learned this from her from just going to the grocery store with her a bunch of times. You know, everybody wants to grab their vegetables and put them in the plastic bags.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time, we're either peeling or cutting up. So there's really no reason for you to be putting your vegetables in this plastic bag.
It's
like,
already touched every nasty surface.
Right.
Anyway.
It's already, people have already touched it. They picked up that zucchini before you did. So you're going to have to go home and rinse and wash it anyway. So that's one of the things that I've gotten really good at, is just when I'm shopping for my produce, like, I just put it in. Like, there's no reason to
You can
have
also
it all
put
back.
that in one of the canvas bags you bring
Right, yeah,
directly.
exactly.
Which I've gotten really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You hit that. So Instagram might cut off at some point because my phone's dying. So we're also live on Facebook, so you can hop over if you want to stick around.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're okay. We're not going to do this forever. So
I also wanted to talk about refills.
okay.
Grocery shopping. So Nashville has a really great resource, a little shop called The Good Fill, and they do refills for things like shampoo and hand soap and dish detergent and laundry detergent and stuff like that. So you can, she usually does a pop-up like once a month.
At Flora
At
Plant
Flora,
Shop.
yep. And she also has like an online store where you can buy from her, and then what she does is she sends you pouches. They're plastic pouches, but it's okay because just listen. So plastic pouches.
Everybody panics.
Yeah,
Everybody's
full
like,
of whatever it is that you're getting, or paper bag, and then when you're done or you've transferred whatever's in the plastic pouch into your own container, you send it back to her, and she rinses it out and reuses that plastic pouch over and over again for other customers. I was so excited when I found out that she existed in Nashville, and I've started doing that for those sorts of products here. So,
And she is actually a sponsor of this event. So we haven't announced it yet, but we're actually going to be doing a big giveaway with her through our Instagram and our Facebook. So stay tuned if you're interested in getting some of those products.
And
For
that's
free.
And that's the good feel.
Mhm.
The
Just
good
in case
feel,
if you missed that.
Yeah, okay, so I bought all these groceries and I've cooked this amazing meal, and now I have all this like leftover crap. What do I do with it?
Compost.
Can I do that myself? Yeah, good, that's what I was going for. Can I do that myself? Or do I need to hire someone? Or can I hire someone? How does that work?
Yeah, so I would say like my favorite thing to tell everybody to do is to compost. I feel like everyone should be composting. It's so cool and fun and and easy, and it's so much better than throwing your food waste into your trash bag, hauling your trash bag out to the curb, having it taken to the dump, emitting greenhouse gases. You could just make dirt and you can use it in your garden, and it's awesome. So Nashville has lots of options for composting. Sort of depends on your unique situation, but one is you can drop your compost off for free at any convenience center in Davidson County, like where you take your glass recycling, totally free. You can build your own compost pile in your backyard. You can literally just throw it depends on how many critters you want to attract, but that will work. You can get I think it's like an 80-gallon backyard composter that will keep critters away from Metro here in Nashville for $50. And if you go to a dirt on composting workshop through Turnip Green Creative Reuse, they will actually give you one for free.
And this is all on your website if they want to find it.
Yes.
Right.
And then there's also a pickup service called Compost Nashville.
I use that.
Yeah, that Liz uses, which maybe you can talk about because I.
Yeah. So I don't have the time, power, or space to do my own composting. I can't see what my dad's saying right now, but probably he's saying that what does he say?
Composting is so much fun and great mulch for your plants.
Yeah.
The plants.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks,
So,
Dad.
if you don't know my dad, he's Moss Man, so he's a literal expert on
My
this.
best
Has been composting all of my life. He's my best friend. He's my dad. No, I'm just kidding. But I use Compost Nashville, and it's like a little, I guess I don't know how many gallons it is. I have no concept of that. And it just is like a lid that you pull off, and I just put everything in there, and then every Monday morning they come and pick it up, and it's like $30 a month or something like that.
And then you can get the compost back if you want to use it,
Yep.
right? Or
Twice a year.
Or you can donate it.
Twice a year, you can either get it back or they donate it to a local farm.
Composting's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone should compost.
And everyone that works at Compost Nashville is super sweet. I enjoy working, or I enjoy having them and supporting them. Yeah?
So-
Composting?
Can we get shirts? Composting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want one.
So I wrote some questions down because I didn't want to forget anything. So I kind of touched on this earlier, but when I start looking at the zero waste movement and listening to politics and the podcast and all the things about the planet and where we are right now, I'm like majorly freaked out. I'm like pretty sure that the planet's just going to end in 3 months and I should just go to Fiji and live out the rest of my life there.
And just so you know, she's not kidding. Like, they met the other night and she called me and she was like, we're all gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
That
know
wasn't Kate's fault. That was my own research fault.
Of what she told you at the beginning, sometimes she freaks out.
So, yeah, I forgot about everything. So, are we screwed or are we not? And can just one person make a difference doing this?
Okay.
She's got her serious face.
Yeah, well, that's a very big question.
Yeah, sorry.
So, A, climate change is real. B, it's just happening. It's happening already, and I don't really see it turning around as quickly as it would need to not be devastating. And so the planet is going to continue to exist, but quality of life for a lot of people is going to change and is already changing. A lot of coastal communities are already affected. A lot of communities with high poverty are affected all around the world. It sucks. So, temperatures rise, people get sick, people end up hospitalized more, people die. Devastating storms wipe out whole communities. Drought ruins farmland, etc., etc. So all of these are really big problems, and so I feel like if you care about humanity or anyone,
yourself
or animals,
Your children,
then you should care. And I think that it's important when you care to live your values and for that to be a part of your daily practice. And it doesn't mean always being perfect, but incorporating your values into your daily life helps you remember what your values are to begin with, helps you continue to share those with people around you. I really believe that individuals have a great sort of waterfall effect by talking about what they're passionate about. When I started talking about this, Liz started caring, and then now Ashley's caring. So,
I mean, and it makes a big difference. And one of the things that we talked about, I mean, because obviously I'm the last one to jump on the train, but I think it's important. I mean, and it's just like your health. Like the things that we preach at Triluna is meeting people where they are, you know. And I feel like something like this, like for me, a big step for me was just buying my grocery bags and being very like on it about using those. Like I've ran out of the grocery store twice to go to my car to get them, because that is my step in contributing. And just talking to you and Liz, like then I start to implement something else. But don't feel like it's something that you have to just all in. It's like just like your fitness, your wellness, your eating habits, it all takes time. And one step at a time is going to lead to the next action.
it really
for
is.
us all to be better people.
Yeah.
I've
So
learned
we're
one
not
thing.
screwed.
Yeah. I started by just being like, what can I recycle? And how do I do it right? And now I'm like, I know too much about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still, and we're all still learning. It's just crazy how much information and information is power.
True. So, speaking of information and power, who is doing the most damage and in turn could be doing the most good if they turn it around?
So, this is a really sad fact, but so something like 71% of greenhouse gas emissions since the year I was born, 88, has come from just 100 companies.
100 companies
doing
the most damage.
Which is really terrifying.
Is that list on your website?
No, but
Will you put it on your website?
Yeah, I can. Write
So
a blog
those are
post
the
about it.
companies to best.
Well, I think that's also where, like, that can feel really overwhelming to us as individuals, but I think that we have a lot of consumer power, and our consumer voice is really important, and I just don't believe in, like, throwing my hands up in the air and saying, like, okay, well, we're all screwed. I think that we all need to keep talking about it and keep letting people in power know that this is important to us, and why, and that we're gonna stop buying as much of their stuff. We're gonna keep polluting the planet. So.
And also vote.
Yeah.
Like
Always
your
vote.
vote matters. Yeah, always vote, but especially now.
Yeah.
It matters. Okay, so it's already been 30 minutes, so we have a few more questions and we're gonna wrap. But
No.
okay, so I have two big questions left. So the first is, give me some things I can go home and do right now, some simple things that I can take into my life from here to get started.
Okay. I would say reduce your use of single-use items.
Okay, number one,
Especially-
less single-use plastic.
Yeah. Single-use anything, but especially plastic. Try to pay attention to packaging. Ask for less packaging in your Amazon orders. That's a thing you can do.
Oh, you can do that?
Yes. Look for less packaged items when you shop, etc.
We'll type these up
Yeah.
and put them on.
On the website. Don't accept freebies. So the world doesn't need all of these. You don't need all those freebies. You probably don't even like them or want them, and you wind up
Like what's it
throwing them
like a
away. Like if you're
like if you're at like a marketing thing.
Oh,
yeah, and you
yeah.
get like a little squishy ball that you never use
Yeah.
ever again.
Yeah. You don't need to take that. If you don't take it, they're not gonna bring them, etc. The world is full of lots of little things like that.
Little gadgets
Yeah.
that nobody uses. Yeah.
One of my favorite things is like do a waste audit in your own home, and that can literally be like dig through your own trash, or just like you don't want to dig through it, just pay attention to everything that you're putting in your trash and say, okay, A, did I need this, or why did I choose this? B, is there an alternative that I could have chosen or that I can choose next time that's gonna reduce this in my trash can?
Also, for that, you could start composting, and you'd be surprised how much of your trash gets diverted. Like half of the stuff I put in my trash now goes into my compost.
Yeah.
And paper towels, like there's some like there's a lot of stuff that can go in there that you wouldn't think
Yeah.
could go in there.
The greasy side of pizza boxes,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah. I think those things.
Those things. Okay,
Awesome.
so I'm bought in. I'm sold. I'm sure we're getting lots more recommendations, but it's too far away for us to read, so we'll get to all that later.
Yeah, we'll check those out and answer any questions that came up there. We'll make sure that we recap all of the major steps on
Yeah.
Kate's website, and we'll have it floating
We'll
out
post
there.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll post this some.
So my final question, last one, and then we're gonna let you guys go. I care, I'm bought in, I'm like all about it, I'm like doing this in my house. How do I get my boyfriend to care about it? How do I get to a place where I'm not pulling his plastic out of the trash can? He's not doing that all the time, he's gotten a lot better. But how do I get him to care about it as much as I care about it?
You don't yell at him.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way. It really doesn't get you anywhere, and actually just
No, it doesn't.
causes
Yeah.
home drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. So I think it's just doing those things yourself. So you set a good example. Sometimes that means you have to do some of the legwork in the beginning, and that can be annoying and frustrating. But if you want other people to change, you have to sort of lead the way a lot of the time.
That's true.
And sneak in a documentary or two.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
and also, think about other ways that being more sustainable might appeal to your boyfriend, like, or your parent or your kid or anyone, whether it's like saving money or time or like reducing the amount of just like crap you have in your house. That was a big motivating factor for my boyfriend. He was just like, I want to
Less stuff.
less stuff. So
And also, I just was thinking about this while you were talking about it. Creating, I think, systems that are easier.
Yeah.
So, like, we now have a very specific place for compost and a very specific place for recycling. And so he's just started doing that naturally because a system exists for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go out of his way. He just, like, dumps it where it's supposed to go.
exactly.
Which is true for everyone. It's true for you. It's true for me.
Right.
Keeping those bags in your car all the time.
Yeah.
We have like 4 million of them, so because we go grocery shopping for Triluna, so we just keep them in our cars all the time.
Exactly. Oh, the other thing I was going to say that everyone should do is create a little zero waste go kit, like on the go kit, so that you're prepared wherever you go. So your bag could be in it, your water bottle. You could bring a napkin or like a handkerchief or like utensils or even like chopsticks, so that you can say no to the plastic utensils and the plastic water bottle and etc.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Great. I mean, all of this information is useful. For me, the last person on the train, I think that for me, what's been so helpful is Liz obviously leading by example and having these conversations, because knowledge is power, right? Like, if you don't know, then you don't know where to start. And so that's why it was really important for us to have this conversation with Kate and really like start letting these things sink in. It's just like, your lifestyle, your eating habits, all of this. Start making this a part of your everyday experience, even if it's just starting with grocery bags and, slowly taking the next steps to get to where you're going. So, commit yourself to something that's greater for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Should I look at some of these questions before we go?
Yeah, do you guys have questions you want me to?
Let me get up in their face for a second. All right, here we go. So, go Kate, this is so interesting.
Thanks, Paul.
You can also get a cloth produce bag and take it with your reusable bags when you go shopping. I think that's for
Yes.
bulk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also for produce. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you
don't
if
wanna-
you are grossed out by putting your produce on the whatever
The buggy, yeah.
then you can bring your own bag for
Okay.
that too.
True.
Yeah.
And if you go to a place like Sprouts and you are getting bulk, they do have canvas bags, little ones you can buy. So if you don't have that yet, you can.
And Kroger's does not have a problem with you placing your items in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
you
Yeah,
place
they'll-
in the bag.
Composting is so much fun. My dad said, I'm here, baby. Dad said, I'm so inspired by the passion and hope for a future generation. So if you guys are just joining, we're gonna repost this. I'm talking from the side.
Should we check that one too, since it's different?
Yeah, let's see. Nope, just a bunch of people watching. Oops, I just turned them off. Okay, that's it.
Well, if you come up with more questions for us, make sure that you contact us directly. Try Luna Wellness, and you can also find Kate at Reduce Reuse Nashville.
And look out for a giveaway that we're doing with a good fill. So we're gonna
Yes.
post that in the next few days.
Just before it dies.
Yeah.
Just
About
before
to
we
die.
die. So guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in with us. We're going to be doing this more. We're going to be touching on some subjects that we just need to be talking about more. Because we're just trying to help everyone, including ourselves, create a better lifestyle.
Yeah, throw a little controversy in at the end so that you stay tuned. We're going to be talking at some point in the near future about the efficacy of essential oils. So be on the lookout for that.
So yeah, we have in the world of Try Luna really quick. Next week we have our first retreat. In May we have some workshops that we're actually about to push out. So make sure that you are following us on Instagram and Facebook. Also make sure that you're following Kate as well. If you're not, go over and head over to follow Reduce Reuse Nashville right now. We have you can find our events under events on trylunawellness.com. And I think
That's it.
That's it and
That's all
that's
we
all.
got.
That's
That's
all
it
we
and that's
got.
all.
That's it and that's all. Thank you guys
for
so
coming.
much.
We'll repost this whole thing later if you want it, and talk to you soon.
Namaste.
Okay, let me get everybody's face. That's the worst part.